Welcome to Monday Morning Dharma on January 6th, maybe? Does that sound about right? Okay, good, good. Before we meditate this morning, I just wanted to talk a little bit about distractions that we might experience when we meditate. And there are all sorts of ways, all sorts of forms of distractions that arise, at least for me when I meditate. Um, One form is just the kind of it just you it's almost like you're dreaming. It's just like you're holding your object of meditation for our purposes. It's sensations within the body, sensations within the inner body, and then sort of next thing you know, you're completely somewhere else and kind of not sure how long you've been there, and it's just this random thing like some conversation you had with a schoolmate back in elementary school or something. It's just like, wow, it's almost like a dream that you're just like taken away to. And then, oh yeah, gently bring myself back to my object of meditation. The other one, another one is what's referred to as discursive thought. Discursive thought. Come on in.
One more, I'll get one more chair.
Okay, yeah, great. Thank you. Um, Another one is discursive thought. And you may be saying, tell me again what the word discursive means. Discursive means kind of, I looked up the definition in Merriam-Webster, by the way, this morning. Discursive is moving from object to object, thought to thought randomly. It's just sort of like randomly going from thought to thought. So, how that might look like in our meditation is meditation on the inner body, observing a sensation, maybe a sensation in my arm. Oh, there's a little bit of discomfort there. That must have happened when I was playing Little League baseball and it's bothered me. And I need to go see an acupuncturist about that. And just, on it goes, right? The type of distraction I want to give special attention to this morning is has to do with what I kind of, and there's nothing sacred about this label, evaluation, sort of evaluative, where we're focusing on our object and we think, oh, uh, I should be able to hold my object of meditation longer than I have, or, oh, this is going pretty well. I'm holding my object, and I'm holding it clearly and single pointedly, and and sort of evaluating what we're doing. And part of that might be also, um, what again are the benefits of this meditation? Oh, yeah, I have a direct experience of non-duality between, and sort of this evaluation takes place a little bit more focused than discursive thought or the dream-like distraction that takes place, um, but still a distraction nonetheless. What I want to encourage us to do with our object of meditation is to focus on the object, sensations within the inner body, for the sake of focusing on that object of meditation, nothing more. The results will come. It's magical how they come when you just let go of all of the rest of it and just focus on the object. That's your only job, is to focus on this object free of expectations. Expectations are meditation killers. They're kind of killers in most aspects of life. Um, but for purposes of meditation, our only job, focus on the object for the sake of focusing on the object. Okay. So without further ado, why don't we settle in for some focused meditation? Please take care to ensure that your spine is straight and relaxed. We're facing straight ahead with our head tilted slightly forward. This serves to bring our spine perfectly into alignment. Please softly close your eyes. And to begin, I'd like you to please gently bring your awareness to the exhalation of your breath. And very gently allow your exhalation to be just a bit longer and a bit more pronounced than your inhalation. Please feel free to experiment with pausing briefly at the bottom of each exhalation. This meditation technique will allow both your physical body and your mind to start to settle and to rest, to become quiet and still. There is an aspect of the body that is referred to sometimes as the inner body. Some schools of meditation refer to it as the subtle body. And by coming into contact with your inner body, you can make manifest a more supple, tranquil state of awareness. So to accomplish this, I'd like you to please draw your awareness inside of your body and become aware of sensations. These sensations may start in your hands and your feet in the form of a tingling, perhaps a lightness, perhaps a heaviness, perhaps a pulsation. No analysis is necessary. There's nothing to figure out. Just be the silent observer of these sensations and allow a more tranquil, awakened state of awareness to emerge. moment by moment, day after day, year after year, the mountain simply observes silently. Snow may fall on the mountain, accumulate, and then disappear. A nearby river may rise and then recede. A flock of migrating birds may fly past the mountain. The mountain simply observes silently. No praise, no blame, no hope, no fear, no expectation. Be a mountain as you silently observe sensations within your own body, mountain. It's when you abandon hope for results that the results come. Now, please gently redirect your awareness. Become aware again of this collection of parts we've agreed to label physical body, and allow your breathing to become less shallow. Taking deeper and deeper breaths, become aware again of the garments of clothing resting on the surface of physical body. Become aware again of your surroundings inside the room that you're occupying. Deeper and deeper breaths, and become aware again of the world that exists outside of the room that you're occupying. Become aware again of nearby mountains, of nearby countries, of nearby continents, of nearby planets. And we dedicate all of the merit, all of the positive energy from this morning's meditation to world peace. May all beings without exception soon come to enjoy a state of complete, perfect fearlessness. May all beings without exception be completely free from all forms of emotional and physical suffering. May all beings without exception be happy, peaceful, contented, and free. Completely fill up your belly and lungs with air, and when you're ready, you can open your eyes and bring your meditation to an end. Thank you, and welcome back. And welcome to, we've got some first timers here, kind of sort of first timers. Welcome, welcome, and welcome to all you returners, you're returning meditators. Just to clarify something about what I said with regard to distractions before our meditation, it's absolutely imperative for us to understand the benefits of doing anything really, including meditation. It's because if we understand the benefits of meditating, then we'll apply effort. And if we apply effort, then we can do anything. We can achieve results. Once we understand the benefits of something, like really, really understand it thoroughly, then we can be at peace with that understanding. We don't need to go back and especially while we're meditating, revisit, oh yeah, the non-duality and non-conceptual and all the rest of it. At some level, the thinking mind just needs stuff to chew on, right? It doesn't really matter what it is at some level. And so that's why when I say, we understand why we're doing the practice, and then let go and trust that we understand and just focus single pointedly on our object of meditation and just be with it. Chop wood and carry water. We chop wood and carry water for the sake of chopping wood and carrying water without thoughts about benefits or consequences or ways to do it better. Same with focusing on our object of meditation. We focus for the sake of focusing, period, and do that thing. So we are back to our discussion of the book that we're going through, In Love with the World, What a Monk Can Teach You About Living from Nearly Dying by Yongey Mingyur. And those of you who are new to the class, we can visit about it afterwards, and I can refer you to some recordings that'll help you get some context. We were during the holidays, we meditated and didn't really go through the text. We're going to get back to examining the text and reviewing it. And at this point in the story, Yongey Mingyur has left his monastery, has taken a cab to the train station. He basically has the clothes on his back and a little bit of money that he knows is going to run out very quickly. And he has boarded the passenger train that's going to take him somewhere else, a destination we'll learn about soon enough. Um, I say we'll learn. I've read this book already, so I kind of already know what's happening. I'm not going to give any spoilers or spoiler alerts. Thus far, so many takeaways to be had from just this. In my copy of the book, we're only on page 15, and there are so many meaningful and important and practically applicable aspects to the story, practically applicable to us in our life. And for me, kind of an overarching takeaway from what's transpired so far is that Yongey Mingyur is deliberately taking himself out of his comfort zone, out of his comfort area. I mean, he was born into a privileged state. He's kind of recognized as being an ascended master. So he was sort of taken into the monasteries at age 7 with his family, given everything they wanted. You know, then this is going to be your study program. This is going to be your practice. We're going to provide everything you need. Here are the robes here are the clothes that you're going to wear every day for the rest of your life. I mean, everything has been sort of prescribed and provided for him, and he's leaving it all behind to becoming a wandering mendicant, right? A wandering sadhu, a homeless yogi. Um, from leaving his monastery to going to this train station. In the past, he had attendants. He had attendants with him that, bought his tickets. He says in the book, he went to the counter and bought his train ticket. He said it's the first time he's ever bought anything in his life. And the man, I think he's nearing 40 years old at this point in the story. Amazing. He gets on the passenger train. He's ridden first class all his life. He gets general seating with the people of India, no seats. He's sitting on the floor. The floor has not been sterilized. We can just put it that way, right? We know it's not clean. Totally taking himself out of his comfort zone. Why? Because he hasn't said so in so many words, but I believe it's because he recognizes that there is personal growth to be had from taking himself out of his comfort zone. And I think that's the suggestion for us to this point in the story. What benefit is there for us to take ourselves out of our comfort zone? I'm not saying leave your home and leave all your possessions and don't tell anybody where you've gone, but maybe little things like, oh, I don't know. How about screens, right? How about TV, email, phone? I think most of us have our little times that we go to check things. We check our text messages because, we want to stay in touch and make sure that we're available for our loved ones. And at some level, it's a means of distracting ourselves from stuff that we are bored with or don't want to focus on. And, it's just like this routine that we've settled into. You know, what if we did something really radical, like not look at our screen while we're having our tea or coffee in the morning? Not look at our phone or our computer monitor or whatever our screen of choice is. Yeah. A couple of classes ago talked about grocery shopping, right? I love my Albertsons, and I love to go at 10:30 on Tuesday mornings because that's when it's least crowded, and that's when they have the best produce, and that's when they have the checkout clerk that I like the best, you know. What if we do something radical like go on a Thursday afternoon? Yeah. And like maybe we don't get the very freshest produce, or maybe this example is applicable, maybe it's not. But I know that one of my first meditation teachers referred to our comfort zone as the stagnation zone. And I think to this point in the story, it's not only about, just reading this story that almost reads like a novel in some respects. Yange Mingyur weaves a lot of Dharma into his story. It's actually almost exclusively about a Dharma teaching, but he weaves it together perfectly with this amazing story of, everything I just said. It's an amazing story. And then the subtitle is What a Monk Can Teach You About Living from Nearly Dying. So he's provided the spoiler alert, but you know, it's an amazing story, and there's a lot of Dharma for us to learn from this. It's not like reading a novel. And for me, one of the first stories is, or Dharma teachings, is that, there is benefit to be had from our taking ourselves out of our comfort zone, which is necessarily detaching ourselves from our object of attachment. You know, the Albertsons, the screens, the car, the route that we take to work, the clothes that our preferred, clothing garments, they all have their basis in attachment, thinking that something external to us has the ability to make us happy. Yeah. It's one of the three root delusions, desirous attachment. If I get this situation and all the things in it just right, all of these things that are external to my mind, then I'll be happy. And it's a confused, totally ineffective way of approaching life, and maybe a way for us to check in with ourselves and our objects of attachment is to gasp, deprive ourselves of those objects of attachment, even just for a couple of minutes, see what happens. Yeah. I want to check my texts. I want to check my email. I want to check, web pages on my phone. I'm not going to do it for a few minutes and just see what happens. Nancy, did you have
I
something?
don't understand what you mean. You said this about Dharma.
Dharma. Thank you for that, Nancy. Dharma, the word Dharma. Dharma refers collectively to wisdom teachings. Oftentimes they're referred to within the context of Buddhist study and Buddhist practice. But Dharma applies to lots of other doctrines, and my preferred definition is just wisdom teachings that cover all aspects of life. So 1 minute past 9. Thank you all for being here. We'll get together again on Friday morning at 8:30, hopefully. Have a lovely week.
Thank you, Jeff.
You're most welcome.
Thank you.
Thanks, everybody.
Thanks, Jeff.
You're welcome.
Will we be doing the questions since this is the second Friday already?
Yeah, why don't we? Thank you for that reminder, Jill. Yeah, we're
I'm obsessive about calendar. I clearly need to give that up.
our second and fourth Fridays are questions and discussions. So that's what Jill was referring to. And yeah, next Friday will be the second. So let's do it. Questions and discussion. And if you have questions, feel free to email them to me. Yeah.